and I heard her whispering and talking to our daughter, Emma. And she said, "My daughter, it's okay. Don't worry about daddy and mommy. You can go and rest." After that season, my wife got pregnant again. And due to what has happened before, she was scheduled to have a C-section. And the schedule landed on the same date, November 28th. May the Lord comfort every broken heart. May He heal every hidden wound. Last year, on this very date, November 28th, my wife and I, we were in the hospital carrying our daughter, very beautiful daughter, and our son was dropped off to the daycare by his grandparents and looking forward to meet his sister in the evening. We were full of joy, not knowing that the next 4 days are going to be one of the darkest days in our lives. When my wife was pregnant, we knew that our daughter had a health-threatening condition. And after her birth, she looked very good. On the second day, the doctor wanted to do the test and see how things are and see if there is any intervention that they can do. After the MRI, the lead doctor came to us with very saddening news. And he said, "I'm very sorry. There is nothing I can do. Your daughter has had a severe brain injury." Of course, he delivered it with some medical terminologies, but that's how the message sounded in simple words. It felt like somebody just sat on my chest, held me on my neck. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't cry. I couldn't talk for a few seconds. But then in my mind, I remembered that I also have to be there for my wife who's still recovering. But that moment, I don't know how to describe it. It felt like my life just stopped for a moment. We kept praying. We kept trusting God, praying for the doctors and nurses in the room that the Lord will come in and do something, perform a miracle, because it wasn't the first time that we were hoping to see Him. We have seen Him healing terminal diseases. And we knew that at that moment, He can also do something. In my praying and fasting, as I was seeking God, I also cried to Him. And on the second day of praying and fasting and seeking God, that's when we came to this point where we knew that leaning on God is the only thing that we have remaining. So that was day number 4 for the baby. And my wife asked to carry her. She carried her in the evening. And we were enjoying that moment. Our son was there. All of us, we were praising God for this life, for this gift that He has given to us. She looked so beautiful. And I heard her whispering and talking to our daughter, Emma. And she said, "My daughter, it's okay. Don't worry about daddy and mommy. You can go and rest." In that moment, I knew that that is the time that is so scary, the time that is hard to accept, a time that is hard to describe. And after a few minutes, our daughter breathed her last breath in the hands of her mother. As hard as it was, I cannot forget the love that we have received, the support that we have received from friends, from family. It is so amazing. And it's still hard. We have cried then, we still cry today. But we are also grateful for God to trust us with a daughter for 4 days. So to anyone who's watching or listening right now, you've probably lost your child or your children, your parents, your friends. I pray that God will comfort you, that God will bring those people to stand with you and pray with you. I pray that God will bring people who will surround you and support you, walk with you through that hard season. And I also pray that you have a room, as small as it could be or feel. May you have a room for God to come in, that He will have space in your life and in your family. Let Him in so He can speak to you, so He can comfort you, so He can give you strength. He did that in our lives, and we continue to have room for Him, for it's only in Him that we can find true comfort. After that season, my wife got pregnant again. And due to what has happened before, she was scheduled to have a C-section, and the schedule landed on the same date, November 28th. She was supposed to have a C-section on that day. It was painful to see this date that is already heavy on us, but it was also joyful to see it turning into a joyful date that we were waiting for our baby. So it was a mix of feelings that are hard to define. I'm not sure if we were happy or we were sad to see this date carrying these two different memories. But God is so amazing. Our son, who was supposed to come on November 28th, he came more than 3 weeks earlier. And it was said that it's too early, that all these procedures are going to be taken. But we had to go through that. And my wife, who was supposed to have a C-section, she delivered the baby nicely with no operation. Praise God. And this reminds me of what the Lord said to Abraham and Sarah. And this became our story. He said, I will surely return to you about this time next year, and Sarah, your wife, shall have a son. If you're listening to me today with no hope, with no light in your life, I pray that God will bless you, and I pray that God will restore everything you have lost. I pray that God will give you sons and daughters, even when it seems impossible. For Sarah, she was too old to have a son. For us, it was too soon and too early to think that we can have another son. The wounds were still fresh, but God did it. And I pray for those who do not have children. You're still trusting God. You have prayed. You have waited. You have gone to the doctors. You've tried different techniques and different medications and different medical trials. I pray that God will remember you and answer your prayer and put an end to your waiting season. I pray that the Lord will give you a new testimony, a new story for this season before this year ends. And as we go into the next year, I pray that God will bring a story full of hope and praises to you and your family. May the Lord comfort every broken heart. May He heal every hidden wound. And may He remind you that He is faithful always.